I was doing a standing practice. So tonight we're going to do a floor practice and a little bit of meditation.
Good.
And then at the end, we're going to do some, like a little creative meditation. And then in between, I thought we would do a practice that focuses on kidney stuff. And the reason being is because it is said in the yoga tradition that we hold fear and terror in our kidneys. And I thought, well, might be a good idea to get some of the sort of the anxiety and the fear out of our kidneys. Because in the Bahamas at the Shivananda ashram, there was this woman who came from the Noetic Institute, and her name is Cassandra Vienton, and she was a very eloquent speaker, and she was talking about meditation and a lot of things. She was talking about it as a technology for change in our lives. It was a very interesting talk, but I wanted to highlight some of the things that she said. Mindfulness comes from the word vipassana, and it kind of got translated into this popular word mindfulness, but mindfulness actually means, it's more clearly translated as moment-to-moment non-judgmental awareness of your experience. And I thought that was a really nice little reacclimation to the idea of mindfulness. So moment-to-moment awareness of your experience without judgment. And most of us, she said, I don't know where they got this statistic, but most of us, she said, are about 80% of the time in our default network, we're ruminating. We're thinking about the past or the future. We're not really focusing on the present. And yoga as a mindful technology has the capacity to turn that around and get us focusing 80% of the time and ruminating about 20% of the time. So what is mindfulness? Present focus, awareness of thoughts and feelings rather than I am angry. I'm aware that I'm angry, right? It's a very different kind of little nudge in our thinking. Different way of looking at things. Non-judgmental, non-evaluating, non-striving, and effortlessness. So I just thought that we could sit for a few minutes and do some mindful meditation, and I also thought I would read you, there's a list of benefits. Emotional regulation becomes easier. It boosts your immunity. It decreases inflammation and blood pressure and pain. It increases the thickness of the cerebral cortex, improves sleep. And as I was just saying, it shifts us out of the default network, and it affects the telomeres. It affects the way our telomeres age. And the telomeres are those little, it's a little piece of our gene that has to do with aging. And I'll just leave it at that. So take a comfortable seat and close your eyes gently. And really make sure that you're comfortable. So if you need to shift. Focus on your seat and getting really stable. And when I sit, I really like to imagine, like I imagine the surface that I'm on, and then I imagine myself sitting on the vast earth, and I move my energy down to the center of the earth. Like I just imagine the molten core of the earth. And then draw your energy back up to an awareness of your feet, through your feet and up your legs into your seat. If you're leaning forward, take your weight back a little bit. Take your weight forward and back to find that center of balance. Move your shoulders up and in and back. So the front body is as open as the back of your body. And then see if you can make yourself a little bit more aligned by pressing down through your sitting bones and reaching outward. Bring your awareness to the sounds in the room. Or the silence around you. To the light filtering through your eyelids. To the temperature of your breath coming in through your nose and going out through your nose. To the feeling of the air on your skin. And to your breath. Notice the places in your breath where your breath slows down and pauses. The in-breath turns around and becomes the out-breath. The out-breath becomes the in-breath. And if you'd like to, you can pause and stretch out those places in the breath where the breath is reversing itself. I'm just gonna ring the bell a few times and we're gonna meditate for a few more minutes and just have some silence. Taking some deeper breaths and bringing your awareness back slowly and gently. Bringing your hands to your heart, but hands into prayer. And you can join in or you can just listen. Just going to start with 3 ohms. Exhaling through your nose. Inhaling. And letting your hands float down and slowly opening your eyes if you haven't already. So I'm going to have you guys lie down for a minute and come together. They can stay apart and just bring your hands to your belly and breathe. Letting the whole back of your body sink down into the surface underneath you. Just starting to feel if you've been guarding in your belly, if you've been holding tension there all day, just start to let that go. Really feel the belly rise on the inhale and fall on the exhale. And then if you'd like to sort of loosen up your neck, just let the weight of your head move your head from one side to the other. Kind of following a little bit of momentum, using as little energy as you need to move your head from one side and to the other side. And then slowly hug your knees in towards your chest. Turn around. Slowly moving your knees in towards your chest. And just rocking and rolling a little bit, side to side and back and forth. Just gently waking up your spine. From here, we're going to go into happy baby. So you're going to bring your legs straight up and your knees towards your armpits. Not anything, like just don't force, just however far you can do this. Make it feel good. Just opening up the legs and the pelvis a little bit. If you can hold on to your feet, hold on to your feet. Is everybody with me?
Yeah.
Yeah? Okay. So there's a way to move this pose and it's kind of fun. So I'm going to roll to my right and extend my right leg long. And it's going to make me roll right over my right kidney. You guys feel that? So now you're kind of on your right side, but you had to roll over the base of the right rib cage, which is where your right kidney is. And then you just come back to center, extend the left leg, and roll to the left. It's a good leg extension and it's a good kidney squeeze. So just going right, taking a breath or two on the right side, slowly coming back to center and going left, and taking a breath or two on the left side. You can take more than a breath or two. You can stay here as long as you want if you're enjoying the extension. All right, and then you're going to come back to a neutral position and you're going to extend your legs straight up and let them go wide. So now you're either holding your thighs, your ankles, your calves, or your feet, whatever works for you. All right, And we're just going to get an extension here. We're doing the practice that I did this morning when I woke up. It's a nice leg extension practice. It kind of gets your legs all the way around. So now slide your hands up your legs so that you're holding the weight of your legs. So now we're going to do some arm stuff. So you're just going to slowly bring your legs together and take them apart and see if you can let go of the weight of your legs into your hands. So it's kind of a lot of weight. You feel your arms and your pectoral muscles working quite a bit here. Yeah. I can see some of you guys. I think I have, Beth, I have you on the big screen.
Oh, geez.
I'm not totally like, this is new for me. So I'm learning how to sort of work with the technology. Okay, so 5 more. Do we have 5 more of these in us? Okay, and 3, and 2, and 1. Okay. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to have you guys just roll over onto your belly. And we're going to do a simple thigh stretch. So your legs are moving straight back from your hips. If you need a scarf or a loop of some kind, you can even do this with a towel to reach your foot. So what I don't want you to do is like move your leg out to the side, right? So it's as if your legs are moving straight back behind you. You're going to grab your right foot and just resist. So you're going to press your foot into your hand and your hand into your foot and draw your foot towards your buttock. Doesn't have to, just easy does it here. Deep, slow breaths in through your nose, out through your nose. Don't forget to breathe. One more breath, and we're going to change to the other side. Reach back. Take the opposite foot. Everybody have that? And resist. Your head is down. Your breath is steady and even. And you're resisting your foot into your hand and your hand into your foot. And you're pressing straight out through your knee. So your leg is getting long, longer from the hip to the knee. One more breath and release. And now we're just going to do a pose that I call the arrow. So you bring your hands down beside your shoulders. It's really preparation for cobra. But you're going to press out through your feet and press down into all your toes so your shins and your knees and your thighs lift up. And then really reach out through the crown of your head. So it's like you're getting stretched from both sides. And then we're going to inhale and lift up into cobra, just peeling your hands off the floor. So I call this flying cobra because we're going to go up and down 12 times. Inhaling up, exhaling down, inhaling up, and exhaling down, and keep that going with your breath. I'm just going to take a peek at the time. Okay. Okay, we reaching 12 repetitions. When you've gotten there, you're going to press back into child's pose. Is everybody there? Yep. Yeah, okay. Sorry, I couldn't hear you guys. Okay, from child's pose, come to downward facing dog. So come up on all fours and just feet hip width. And so we were doing this crazy little shaking practice yesterday. If your heels don't come to the ground, you're going to roll your mat up so that you have something to press your heels into. And this practice builds a lot of heat in your body, and it looks kind of funny, but you're really shaking your legs and pressing into your feet and kind of bouncing, and everything jiggles except for your arms are straight, your head is stable, and it builds a ton of heat. I did this for 5.5 minutes this morning, and I was like, so I'm going to see if I can see you guys. Can see, yeah, I see some shaking going on there. Is this working for you? Yep. Yeah. All right, and then come to a neutral position. And take your right leg up. Just a big extension. We're just gonna bring it down and take the left leg up. Bring it down. And we're going to come into a squat, into malasana. And you can do this if you have blocks, if you want to put blocks underneath you, or you have a low stool if you don't like to squat. And I never took my socks off. It's a little chilly. I'm up in the attic because I get good reception here. There we go. So you're in malasana, and just taking your shoulders back. And then optional in malasana to lift up on your toes and lower down. So you just want to make sure that your knees are facing your toes. And if you're going to do the lifting and lowering, it's going to be slow and steady. Slow up and slow down. And we're just going to do that 5 more times, going up and down. And if you're not going up and down, just doing mindful breathing in malasana. It's a really nice, relaxing position, right? Because the pelvic floor is completely released. Can't hold any tension. It really can't hold any tension in your pelvic floor or your legs here. Taking some deep breaths. Okay. So I'm being mindful of the time because last night we just kind of got cut off. And I'd like to finish with a mudra meditation. So this is the creative meditation that I told you guys about in the beginning. So your hands come together as if in prayer, and then you widen your fingers apart a little bit, and you take your right hand and you just slide your fingers into the space between the fingers in the left hand, and you interlace your fingers a little bit, like halfway. Can you guys see this? Yes. Yeah, and then you open your hands, and your index fingers come together in a little point. So like that. This is called Vajra Pradama. It's the mudra of unshakable confidence. Oh, yeah. And so thinking about fear in the kidneys and terror, unshakable confidence is like courage, right? It's the courage to move through your fear. So in this mudra meditation, just go ahead and bring your hands over your heart and your index finger to the little notch in your sternum, right in between your collarbones. And I'm going to have you guys think about something that you'd like to bring courage to. And you can think about your hands as like the pages of a book. This mudra kind of looks like a book, an open book. And you have to use your imagination here. So imagine that you have a blue crayon, a paintbrush with blue paint on it, or a blue pen. And you're going to write your sentence or your word on your hands, on your open book hands. Does everybody have that?
Yes.
Getting there? Okay. When you do, you're going to bring your hands together. All right. And then we're just imagining. So you're holding that blue note between your hands. And you're going to open them back up into the mudra. And when you open them back up into the mudra, what you find is a beautiful blue butterfly. And you're going to place that butterfly back into your heart. And the butterfly dissolves into your heart's blood, and it fractures into trillions of little butterflies that flow out with your blood. And they land in every cell of your body. So see if you can imagine that. Bear with me. Really, you have to use your best imagination. And they're carrying that quality into every cell in your body. Take a moment until you can feel that energy pulsing in every cell of your body. And then when you're done, bringing your hands slowly back to prayer. And bowing in to seal in your meditation. And we'll finish with one Om, and then we'll have a moment just to chat before we get cut off. Okay? Exhaling fully, inhaling for Om. Om. Thank you.